This episode is brought to you by Complete Auto Service Center. I want to share something close to home. Literally. If you're anywhere near Richmond, Missouri, and your vehicle needs attention, there's a place that embodies trust and integrity. Complete Auto Service Center. I've known Mark and Amanda for years, and they make me feel like I'm part of their family. From oil changes to engine replacements, brakes to transmissions, they handle it all with professionalism and care. Their certified techs use quality parts, and they stand behind their work with a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. But it's more than just repairs. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that your vehicle is in the hands of people who value honesty and excellence. So, if you're seeking a reliable partner for your automotive needs, visit CompleteASC.com or stop by 718 Woolard Boulevard. Let them earn your trust, your business, and your friendship. Complete Auto Service Center. Complete maintenance, complete repairs, complete peace of mind. This episode is brought to you by Cutting Edge Landscapes. I've known Brandon Steffen, the owner of Cutting Edge Landscapes, for over 15 years. We've seen each other through a lot, climbed mountains together, served together, and when it came time to trust someone with my lawn, there was no question. I turned to Brandon and his team. Let me tell you, the difference after just one application was truly incredible. My yard went from weedy and full of dandelions to lush and vibrant. It was green, like really green. Also, I fought the bag system for years, never really seeing the results I wanted, but it has new life now, and that's all thanks to Cutting Edge. Cutting Edge isn't just about landscape projects either. They're about building relationships and treating your property like it's their own. Whether it's fertilization, aeration, or seasonal treatments, they tailor their services to what your lawn truly needs. With over 40 years in the business, Cutting Edge Landscapes stands by their motto, "Your property is our passion." And after seeing the results firsthand, I can vouch for that. Visit callcuttingedge.com or 816-580-3343 to schedule your consultation. Your lawn will thank you. This is the Son of the Law podcast. Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome to the Son of the Law podcast. I'm your host, Jay Christopher. I'd like to start off, as always, by thanking you for supporting the show. You are why we do this and what's this all about. Remember, please share the show across all platforms, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, your favorite podcast player. Please encourage people to follow, turn those notifications on so that you can be ready for the next episode. Don't forget to find us on social at Son of the Law Podcast on Instagram and or shoot me a good old-fashioned Gmail, sonofthelaw.podcast@gmail.com. Reminder, we drop every other Monday at 6 a.m. so that drive to work or never miss a Monday workout can be extra special. And it's ironic that we're talking about the Never Miss a Monday workout because joining me in my home this morning is Tanner Stark. What's up, Tanner?
Hey there, man. How's it going?
It's going great. You know, when it comes to working out, you are, I think, my resident expert in the Lawson community.
That's very, very nice of you.
And we're going to talk a lot about that. I think this time of year, people start thinking, you know, we're through the holiday now. We're leaning into a new year. People start using the word resolution. You probably don't like that word, but we'll talk a little bit about it. And just, you know, like I said, maybe here as we were getting going, I want to encourage people to consider their health as they move forward into
Absolutely.
this next year.
Absolutely.
So as we get into that, I'm really looking forward to that conversation with you. But first of all, thank you so much for coming today.
Absolutely. Thank
It's
you
awesome.
for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm
That's
so
so
glad to
cool.
have you in my home. I always like to introduce people the way I feel like I got to know you because, you know, that's one way of building like camaraderie with folks too. Like they kind of see how we knew one another and they get to know you in a different way. So I think as I was putting my notes together, I think I met you when you were in elementary school.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Tyler was playing CRBC basketball with Lee in like 5th and 6th grade
Yep.
or whatever. And you were always kind of running around in the gym while they were playing. Right. Yeah. I love that. But then just as also people get to know you, like your son of Dale and Connie, kind of lost in royalty.
That's what I hear is, "Oh, you're Dale's boy.
That's
You're
right.
Dale's son."
Which is fantastic,
Yeah,
right? I mean, everybody's got to be
yeah.
a son of somebody, so that's
Yep,
excellent.
that's right.
Then brother Tyler,
That's right.
and friends of the podcast would know Valissa, Tyler's wife. She was on here. We talked had a great episode about motherdom and all things around
Absolutely.
that. And then you also have a lovely sister, Maddie.
Yep, and she just got married last Saturday.
That's right.
So yeah, that's very exciting. Her husband is Jacob Babb.
Very
so now
good.
she's Madison Babb.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, indeed. And then also not to be overshadowed at all by your lovely wife, Kristen, and some awesome kiddos.
That's right. Yep, I have 4 kids. Natalie, I have twins, Denver and Evie, and then I do have a little 2-year-old boy named Daniel. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty crazy household, but very, very blessed.
That's awesome. So I've actually gotten to watch you grow figuratively and literally. Again, we talked about a little kid that you were. Now you've turned into this specimen of fitness, right? How
I don't
tall
know
are
about
you?
that,
6'2"?
About 6'3", right now, about 230.
6'3", 230. There's
Yeah.
not an ounce of fat on you.
There definitely is.
There's-
too many little Debbie Christmas tree cakes this winter, but that's okay.
I hear you. And do you measure your body fat percentage? Are you one of those guys?
I do. So I go to Supplement Superstore.
Okay.
It's in Liberty.
Yeah.
They have a thing called a DEXA scan.
Yep.
So what you do is you take your socks off, you step on this little computer,
Yep.
grab these handles, and I don't know if it's 100%. I would say maybe 1 to 3% off.
Yep.
But it measures you pretty close. And I'll do that maybe every 4 to 6 weeks,
Yep.
just to kind of get a baseline.
And where are you at on your? Are you comfortable sharing your body
absolutely.
fat percentages?
It's definitely higher because I was 207 pounds at the end of July. So I'm
Okay.
up about 20 pounds. I don't know.
Is this intentional?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yep. I don't know. I'm probably right around 18 to 20%.
Okay.
Would love to get down to about 12.
Okay.
So
And you were at 12 coming out of.
I was at 11% on our last Florida trip last August.
My goodness.
So that was pretty tough. The last 4 weeks of the cut, I was down to about 50 grams of carbs a day, which for me is very low.
Yes, I was
So-
going to say there's 50 grams of carbs in like a tortilla.
Yeah,
or
it was
two,
very
so-
tough. I was like, this is not fun.
Right?
But yeah, it's just kind of highs and lows. We bulk, we cut. That's kind of what keeps me coming back in there. It's
Yeah.
just setting those goals.
Yeah, and I'd like to talk about that. My son, unfortunately, under the weather today. I was going to have him join us for this conversation.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about bulking and cutting, and I've chatted with Austin Johnson a little bit about it too.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of different approaches and
There is.
philosophies to it. I mean, the idea of intentionally trying to gain weight is foreign to me.
It's kind of a strange concept.
it-
People are like, you're intentionally trying to put on 30 pounds. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's what we do. You put on, mostly muscle is the goal.
Yep.
Obviously you're going to put on a little bit of fat.
Yep.
And then, you just kind of go into your cut. And I mean, everybody's goals are going to be different. I understand that. I think the biggest mistake for bulking for me was always, I'm just going to eat as much food as possible.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't grasp food or the concept of really eating clean, but
Yeah.
eating a lot of clean food.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in college at the time. I really started kind of getting into the bulk. And I remember just eating like McDonald's. You know what I mean? I ate really poor quality food,
Mhm.
and I probably didn't see the best results that I could have seen during those years. So
Yeah.
I would say over the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I've really, really understood and researched food and just
Taking a
kind
more
of
deliberative approach.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into that too hot and heavy here?
absolutely.
Maybe born and raised, your family, how people might know you. Were you in school,
Yeah.
community, family?
Absolutely.
Tyce Lawson.
Yeah, absolutely. Born and raised in Lawson, so I've been here for 29 years. My dad has cut hair here for 44, so that's probably where most people are going to know me, kind of
Sure.
like we talked about. I went to elementary, middle, and high school in Lawson. Went to Northwest for college.
Go Bearcats.
That's right, go Bearcats. Went there for marketing. Met my wife year 2.
Okay.
She was actually my boss at Walmart. For most people don't even know that. That's kind of how we met.
I didn't know that actually.
Yep, I worked. I was 19 at the time. Worked in produce at the Excelsior Walmart, and she happened to be the produce like manager.
Okay.
Yeah, we just kind of started talking and ended up dating and got married. I don't know, a year and a half after we met. So
Very good.
yeah. What else?
Ties to lost in small town living. You still living here in town?
We are. You know, it's funny because when I left high school, I said I would never be back. High school just honestly wasn't the greatest experience for me.
Really?
I don't know. And I just kind of wanted to get out. I don't know if it was just because I lived here my whole life or whatever, but yeah, I came back after meeting my wife and was like, I really, really think that we are supposed to settle down here. You know, found a home real close to my parents.
Yep.
And we've been there for about 7 years now. So
That's
I don't
awesome.
ever see us leaving. It's been a great experience. I love that my kids get to go to Lawson. They're doing great in school.
Yeah.
You know, our church here in Lawson is great. I love, you know, creating relationships with other families with small kids. It's probably one of my favorite things. So,
yeah.
we love being here.
I appreciate that. You know, and too, the comment you made about not necessarily having the best time in high school, maybe growing up here, thinking this place is tiny, and you know, maybe thinking there's something else out there that's bigger and better. For some, that might be the case.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you get away from it, and then you come back, and you're like, of all the places I've seen, this place has got a lot going for it too.
Absolutely. So. I think just going to the city as much as I did, just people that are so genuine here is really, really what drew us in. You know what I mean? Just the small town feel, small town restaurants, things like that.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't ever see us leaving.
What is something people wouldn't know about you or be just surprised to discover?
This is kind of a new thing, honestly. I am obsessed with bowling.
Bowling?
So I've taken a high interest. It sounds so silly. It sounds crazy. But there was a men's retreat at our church not too long ago.
Yep.
And man, I don't know I think it was just being around, you know, the fellowship with all the guys. But man, I've fallen in love with it, and I want to play like every weekend.
That's awesome.
It's super silly, but it's just something that I really enjoy. So.
Did you get a bowling ball and shoes for Christmas?
It's in the Amazon cart, but I did not get one. No. I've been eyeing a couple different ones.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
That's awesome.
So
let's rapid fire a little bit here. What is your most used emoji?
Honestly, it's probably the bicep, the flexing.
Okay.
Just because I send that to a lot of my clients.
Yep.
You know, just like get after it today, or some of my online clients, I never see them. So I'm going to shoot them a little message through the app that I train them on and just say, hey, you know, make it a good week. And I'll send them the flex emoji.
That's awesome.
It's kind of cheesy, but yeah.
When was the last time you came unhinged?
Probably a couple days ago, honestly. If I got to be completely transparent here, I think it was just chaotic. It was like an evening. All my kids were kind of running around being crazy, not listening. And I remember just kind of being like, yeah, all right, you know what? We got to settle down a little bit. I'm sure I didn't say it that nice, but that's definitely, it was a couple days ago.
That's awesome. Can you describe the third photo in your phone?
Absolutely. So for Christmas, my wife got me a magnetic gym bag. So what it is it's a bag that you put your wallet, your phone, and your blender bottle in or whatever.
Okay.
And it mounts to the rack. So whatever, or a machine or wherever you're at in the gym. So like I said, it's just a big strong magnet, and it just attaches to any metal object. And
How about that?
Yeah, I didn't think I would use it, but I actually used it this morning working out. I was like, this is kind of handy.
That's awesome.
So yeah, yep.
All right, if you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
Growing up, my dad actually had a business in carpentry.
Really?
And I think that would be really cool. Just he's very, very meticulous with his work, and I think it would always be cool to like build cabinets or you know, he built the bed that they sleep in. He built several things for my house, my brother's house. So I think that would be a really interesting skill to
That's
master.
awesome. Are you a beach guy or mountain person?
Beach for sure.
What is a food you irrationally dislike?
Olives.
Olives?
100%. Olives are the worst. They smell terrible. I have no idea. My kids put them on their fingers and they eat them off one by one. I'm just like, I can't stand those things.
Green or black or both? Or any?
All of them.
All of
they're
the
just
olives?
awful. Yeah, they're terrible. Or bread and butter pickles. Those are terrible. It sounds silly, but I'm like, those are so nasty.
That's fantastic.
Dill pickles or nothing.
Do you eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Absolutely.
How do you do PB and J?
I'm kind of crunchy, and I know I listened to Libby on here, and I'm probably even crunchier. So we get the organic jelly from Aldi's, and then we get this organic sourdough bread. It's got like 3 ingredients.
Oh yeah.
And then organic peanut butter, and I'll toast the bread, and then I'll put both on.
Let's go.
I put both on both slices. So it's a little extra calories too. But
no, yeah, a man of your size and trying to put on 30 pounds.
That's right.
I think an extra tablespoon of peanut butter is going to be just fine.
That was my bedtime snack for about 3 months. Was 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and 8 ounces of milk before bed every single night.
Every night.
Mm-hmm. It was probably 800 calories.
Yeah, got to put fuel in the tank.
That's right. It put me right to sleep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, if you had a walkout song for life, what would it be?
That's a tough question. Oh.
Another way of phrasing this would be like, what's your walkout music if you were up to bat at, like in a Royals game or something?
I really like Skillet. So I've really kind of taken an interest in them. They're a cleaner, you know what I mean? It's Christian music.
Yeah.
But it's a little more hardcore. Like I can never get pumped up to like Chris Tomlin. I always tell people that. I'm like, I don't listen to that while I work out.
Can't do it.
Probably like they sing a song called Invincible.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
So it's
I've
like
heard
with
that
God, it's like you're invincible basically. So I really like that song. So probably something along those lines.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. Mine has always been Dead and Bloated by the Stone Temple Pilots.
Okay.
Which is not a Christian song, but it makes me feel like I can rip a tree out of the ground.
Right.
So.
That's right. As long as you feel like that, then that's a great song.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's do some rapid fires on the workout side of things. Leg day, love it or secretly avoid it?
Leg day, love it.
Really?
Yep. I got a little cool backstory here for you. So Greg Taylor, mayor, used to be the mayor of Lawson. So I used to go to Chiefs games with them growing up. He had Founders Club tickets, which was like a big deal for me because I never had the chance to do that. So every Sunday, I mean, they'd be like, hey, you're going with us. And Bobby Bell, who was an ex-linebacker for the Chiefs, happened to be in there one Sunday. And I remember him. I had just started working out too. He said, upper body, looks good. He said lower body definitely needs some work. And so I actually took that and I train legs probably twice a week now.
Really?
So, yep. So it's just something that I've kind of fallen in love with.
How about that?
So
that's excellent.
Yeah.
What is one exercise you would never do again?
Probably burpees.
Okay.
And I think all of my clients would definitely agree that that's probably the worst one.
What's the matter with the burpee?
I mean, honestly, I've done my research. There's no like science behind the exercise. It's just a way to get your heart rate up. It's basically stepping back on the ground, getting on, basically push-up position, doing a push-up, jumping back up, jumping up, touch the ceiling, repeat. It's just kind of an
I'm familiar with it.
It's terrible.
You just hate it.
It's just, like I said, there's no like, this is what it really works. It's more like just get your heart rate up. Okay. And there's other exercises that you can do to get your heart rate up.
Good to know. I'll have to, I want to unpack that one a little bit.
Absolutely.
Gym music, hype beats or absolute chaos?
I think a little bit of both.
Okay.
I do like some 90s like hip hop, R&B, stuff like that.
Yep.
But I also like I said, Skillet. I like NF, if you know who that is.
No.
Kind of like a little more Christian Eminem.
Okay.
So he's got music similar to Eminem's really. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Barbells or dumbbells?
Dumbbells, no explanation.
You ever do kettlebell?
Yeah, absolutely. I do lots of exercises with kettlebells.
I just started with kettlebells.
They're great.
Loving it.
Double arm or single arm, both?
I'm working into double.
Yeah.
And I have 2 35s, 2 50s, and a 70 now.
Oh, man. What an animal.
Well, I'm working on the 70, and I can do certain things with it, but it's too heavy in some of the other areas. So
absolutely.
It's been super functional.
That's awesome.
Love
it. That's one of the biggest things is functional movements.
Yeah, and I love it. How about biggest gym pet peeve?
Probably re-racking your weights. I think every guy would come in here and say that, honestly.
Not re-racking.
Yes.
People don't do it.
It's just crazy. There's signs everywhere. And you would think, okay, you're strong enough to put it on the machine, but you're not strong enough to take it off.
That's just lazy.
It's just lazy. And I always say that your mom doesn't work here. So
That's right.
Take your weights off.
And you spend a lot of time up there. So it's probably really irritating for you.
Absolutely. And and I'll call them out on it. You know what I mean? If I'm up there and I see it, I'm like, hey, put your weights away. And sometimes I get some snarky stuff, but usually people are like, hey, I just forgot. You know what I mean? So
unhinge on somebody.
That's right. I'm about to. That's right.
All right. Are mirrors helpful or suspicious?
I would say suspicious.
You'd say
I would say suspicious.
Don't need them.
The only reason I say that is because I think if you're like an avid gym goer, I think if you're like truly like you have goals, you set goals, I don't think you're ever truly satisfied.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you walk by a mirror and you may like notice some progress, you know what I mean? But it's like, oh man, I really got to work on shoulders a little more. I need to work on my legs a little more. I need to, train abs because I've been neglecting it for months on end. So I would say more suspicious than helpful.
I'm just seeing a lot of people on, you start this health journey and then you see so many people on social media.
Yeah.
It seems to me like the only thing it's about is like looking good.
100%. And I always told people, if that's your only goal is to look good, you'll never stay with it.
Really?
Because I was that way for a long time. Like, especially in the beginning, it was like, let me just focus on getting my arms bigger. You know what I mean? Like I said, but if that's all it's about, then you're really never going to stay with it for a long period of time.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, let's dive in, move in a little closer to the main content here. I maybe too want to just share a little bit about my own journey here. Get to know one another, help some people see maybe where my motivations are for this episode. My health journey has been weird. Was when I was a kid, always overweight, and mostly I'm to blame for that, right? Highly addictive personality. If one was good, a box was better. Really loved that. Didn't necessarily enjoy the working out side of things or whatever. Enjoyed the sedentary lifestyle, so put on quite a bit of weight. And then as I got older, I've had these different seasons of my life where I had sports, I had reasons to work out. Like you were saying, you got a coach pushing you one way or another. You got that. In college, I had different motivations. I was in the gym just because I was bored. Then I got married and immediately put on some weight. And because, that's what you do when you first get married, you kind of hold up and then had kids and then found it difficult to lose weight because you're trying to chase kids around. Didn't feel like I had any time. Now here I'm in my middle ages and you think, hey, the kids aren't as busy as they've been. Now it seems like I'm fighting my body to try to lose the weight or whatever, try to get strong. And so I want people to maybe identify maybe with me, with your story here, and realize that this is not an episode where we're just going to talk about looking good or feeling good or just being good.
Yeah.
Like you'd see on a motivational
absolutely. It's not
website
like that.
Or whatever. Yeah. Like this is just real people trying to figure it out. We've got different reasons too. And I'm going to just share my experiences. You tell me yours, but I've ran because I had an event coming. Like, I wanted to train for a marathon. I wanted to train for this MR340. I wanted to train for, some event that was coming up. I wanted to train to lose weight. I wanted to train to look good. I wanted to train for strength. And now as I get into my, mid to late 50s or 40s, I'm looking to train for function and mobility and longevity, but I'm also kind of like now just trying to find new ways just to be disciplined. And then I've done different activities. I'm from running, P90X, CrossFit, rec leagues, weights, kettlebells. Sometimes my workouts have just been walking. And so, like I said, to have you on here, help encourage folks just to get moving, set a goal. Just like to, move in that direction.
Absolutely. I think to piggyback on your story, it's a lot like mine.
Yeah.
I wasn't always this like, guy that loved to be outdoors. I loved to sweat and, lift weights. I was kind of the same way. I loved the sedentary.
Yeah.
I was an avid video gamer.
Yeah.
I was very into Call of Duty, things like that
Yeah.
when I was young, maybe 6th, 7th, 8th grade. This is very embarrassing, but there was the Modern Warfare 2 came out when I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
I had 94 days playing time.
Oh my gosh.
So you times that by 24 hours and it's astronomical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just never cared anything about, I would go to the pool and stuff, but I'd eat like 2 hot dogs with cheese on top. You know what I mean? Like I was that kind of kid.
Yeah. American diet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as I even got into like 8th, 9th grade, I realized that I like never wanted to take my shirt off at the pool. And that was kind of embarrassing for me because like with a dad who was like, did bodybuilding in the 90s and was like very active, it was kind of hard for me, and all my other buddies were like still built pretty decent, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was always kind of the kid that just didn't really care about working out. My brother had just started getting into working out when he was kind of I would say junior, senior. And I remember he'd always pull me into the basement and be like, hey man, like you should start working out with me.
Yeah.
And I'd work out for 5 minutes and quit.
Yeah. Just done. Didn't like it.
Yep. And I would say when it really hit me, I was probably a junior in high school. I quit basketball. It was just some things that went on. I really didn't agree with it. So I was done. And I remember summer came around and I'm like, I have to do something. And we had a lift-a-thon at school and I pledged all this money for some of the weight that I thought I could do. And I remember I failed like 160 on bench press. And from that moment on, I just was like, I just have to get after it.
Yeah.
So I just took slow steps and, did all the research and watched all the YouTube videos. I still do it. But that was when I probably really started to, love working out and the bodybuilding stuff. And as I got a little bit older, it was less about bodybuilding and more, I want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I want to help others be healthy. I don't care if you're 20 or 80.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I've really fallen in love is with helping others. Just be like, hey, you're 80 years old and you can do a walking lunge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, that's another reason to have you on here today. That's as I've talked with you and as I've talked with others in this community, it seems like everybody's working with you. Like, hey, oh yeah, Tanner's going to be on this program. Oh yeah, I was up here and he's talked to me about this and whatnot. So it seems like kind of like you're being blessed in your reach here, which is exciting.
Yes, it is.
Over the let's just get your take on this. Over Christmas, my brother and I were talking, and he said, he started on this health journey that I'm kind of just starting on now, where it's more of a lifestyle than it is, training for an event or an activity. Some of the things I walked through earlier, about 2 years ago, and in that period of time, he's worked out like crazy. He's down into the single digit body fat, loves it, loves working out, just has really appreciated it. And he's like, choose your hard. You're going to have to choose it like every day, choose getting out of bed, choose the 20-minute exercise, choose the decision not to eat something or to eat something now, or choose, the lack of mobility later, choose your health falling apart later.
Injuries, you know what I mean?
Injuries, yeah. Like pick one.
Absolutely.
It's going to be hard either
Absolutely.
way. So right now you have a choice in it. How does that hit you? I mean, have you heard that?
I hear that and I see that quote all over social media and all that.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with it. You can wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. now, get it over, get it done to start your day, or, you're going to pay for it later in life, which it sounds kind of harsh, but it's honestly very true.
It's true.
I've seen a lot of people, that get into their 60s, 70s, and they're like, man, I wish I would have started when I was 30, 40 even. You know what I mean? Like you could have had 20 extra years to do, to start weight training and running or whatever, what kind of training you wanted to do. But I would just urge folks to start now. I tell everyone 21 days. I know it sounds like a long time, but in the scope of life, that's kind of what it takes to build like a habit.
I have it.
And it's going to be hard for 21 days, and you're going to have to say no to certain foods. And you're going to have to track you're going to have to track what you're eating, and you're going to have to work out. You know, I would say starting out 4 days a week.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to go, I got to go 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where some people fall off. It's like, it's all or nothing. If I don't work out 7 days a week, then what's it all for?
Yeah.
But I really don't think that's the case. I mean, there's some weeks, honestly, I probably hit 4 or 5 days with 2 days of active rest.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to hit 7 days a week, but just starting, and it could be as simple as walking for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to go do some hour and a half bodybuilding workout or kettlebell or what a CrossFit.
Yeah.
Just start small.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think that's what the people that stay with it the longest, they started the slowest.
Yeah.
It's not like they were just like, I'm going to go run a marathon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm going to start on this small program and I'm going to build off of it.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So let's speak to those people then who need to make that decision, who are like already feeling that little gut punch right now because, oh man, I've, deep down they've already, and I'm feeling it. They're making the decision right now as they listen, as they're talking like, no, I got to figure this out. And I'm going to figure this out. It's the start of a new year. What patterns do you notice most when people return to the gym? Like, and we won't use the word resolution, but we will. I mean, if you want to go ahead and talk through that question, you can. But there's people who are making choices and will make a choice to get in there. How are they doing?
I would honestly say the people that don't come in with some sort of plan are going to fail. If you just come in, you're like, hey, I'm going to hit arms today. You just kind of go into it with a blank stare. I don't think you're going to stay with it.
Yeah.
I think you need to like research a plan or reach out to a personal trainer or something online. I mean, the access that we have to all of these plans and programs is crazy now.
Yeah.
Get on something for, I would say, at least 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And stay with it.
Yeah.
Because if you just go in every single day with no idea what you're doing, I truly don't think anybody's going to stay with it.
So that's what it looks like. Somebody says, I'm going to go to the gym today.
Yep.
They get up, they walk in, they're stone faced. They don't know what to do. They maybe jump on a treadmill, maybe do an exercise or two that's not focused, and then go home. They showed up that day.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But the next time they come in, they might do the same thing and not really know.
I would say 80% of the people that go into the gym, that's what I see. And that's what I hear. Because when somebody comes to me for maybe seeking personal training advice, they're going to say, I really have no idea what to do when I come in here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I'm here, first of all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is to help guide you, but also to get you on something that will propel you into those next years.
Yeah. So why do you think fitness is one of the most common New Year's resolutions?
I think everybody has the idea that they want to be healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's just, we're overweight as an American, society. I don't know what the percentage is exactly, but I know it's pretty high.
Yeah.
I think everybody, like I said, just loves the idea of being in shape.
Yeah.
And being healthier. And I think that's why it's always like, hey, I'm going to start January 1st.
Yeah.
So.
It's like it's not really a new start, but it's a new start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's several new starts.
Yeah. So what separates resolutions from those who fade out after a few weeks? Is that the plan that you were talking about, or are there other things?
I honestly think it's a plan and just starting small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you don't get 200 grams of protein one day, you can't just say, okay, well, I failed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just give up.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll just do better the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I tell anybody that comes to me and has no idea how to eat food, I tell them to track their food for 1 full week.
Yeah. Before you do anything else.
Before anything. I don't care about anything else. Track your food.
Yeah.
Because some people will say, oh, I ate a lot of food. You know what I mean? I hear that. And then they're like, well, I had an egg, and then I had a turkey sandwich, and then I had a shake for dinner.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that was like 400 calories.
Yeah.
So
that's not enough.
I don't think you're eating enough. And that's usually what it is. People think they're eating too much when they're really not eating enough good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, particularly as you talk about the people who come in with these big goals, everybody wants to feel good. They want to look good. How do you balance ambition in those areas with the realism of helping them set those goals. Like what is a reasonable goal?
I think that's different for everybody.
Okay.
First of all, because I have some people that come in, they're 200 pounds overweight. I have some people that come in, they're high school athletes. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
want to jump a little higher. They want to run a little faster.
Yeah.
So I would say that kind of just depends on who comes in. If you're looking to lose weight, I would say 5 pounds the first month.
Okay.
I would say that's a very reasonable goal.
Yeah.
It's probably going to fall off a lot faster than that, because if you've been sedentary and not moving for the last,
Mhm.
however many years, months, whatever, you're going to see a little bit quicker results.
Mhm.
But I would say, I don't know, 5 to 10 pounds for weight loss,
Yeah.
muscle building, 5 pounds in the first couple months.
Yeah.
Like I said, this all kind of depends on if you've been active, if
Yeah.
you've been inactive.
What your plan
Exactly.
is.
If you, what kind of body type you have, that also
Yeah.
plays a huge role in it.
Yeah.
Age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Male, female, it all kind of, there's so many factors.
So what's a resolution you wish more people would focus on that isn't about weight or appearance?
I would say, and this is not in the gym, you're saying?
Anything. I mean, like if there's maybe something related here,
Yeah.
I like I said, I mean, it's your question. You
I think-
take it however you want.
I think discipline translates into every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And I really believe it starts in the gym, because when you wake up at 4 a.m., I always start my day. I get up at 4 a.m. and I try to read my Bible for maybe 15 minutes
Yep.
before I take my pre-workout or anything, or even maybe while I'm sipping on it,
Yep.
I'm reading just a little bit. And then I'm going to the gym. And I think just those two habits in the morning sets the tone for a
The rest of your
successful day.
Yeah.
And I don't care what happens, you're able to take on whatever challenge, whatever problem with just a little more head, you're able to take it on a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think starting your day that way is probably the best way to start your day. I know a lot of people do cold plunge and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and I've done that in the past, sauna. I'm not great with being consistent with those two things, but I think, waking up, reading your Bible, go work out, those are two of the biggest things.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. And what's that? Is it Atomic Habits that talks about where you wake up and make your bed every day?
Yes.
And then you have to,
Yeah.
so just good decisions
Yeah.
beget good decisions.
100%.
Yeah. Very good. What's the biggest myth about weightlifting that kind of holds people back from getting started?
It's funny because I hear a lot from women, I don't want to get too big, or I don't want to bulk up by lifting weights.
Yeah.
And I think the number one thing for weight loss and muscle building is strength training.
Mhm.
So any machines, dumbbells, barbell, it's the greatest way to build muscle and lose weight.
Really?
And it's not like you're going to go into the gym for a week and then you're like 220 and just
Swole.
jacked.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. Even on, enhanced drugs, which I don't vouch for that at all.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works. It's
Yeah.
years of being consistent and disciplined. That's probably the thing I hear most is, I don't really want to bulk up that much.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's not, if that was how it worked, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not how it
It's
works.
not
I
like
definitely hear that the most.
Yeah.
From both sides.
And what are some common barriers that then help or keep people from making consistent progress?
I think it's the consistency. I
Yeah.
really do. I think that's the thing where I've seen the most progress in my own kind of fitness walk, and everybody else that I've trained is just show up every day, be consistent. And I'm not saying that you got to eat, salmon and white rice or whatever for every
Yeah.
meal,
Yeah.
but I'm saying be consistent 85% of the time, 80% of the time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, well, I failed between Thanksgiving and Christmas again. I'm like, I don't really care what you do between those 2 months. I think it's between Christmas and then wrap it around to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Those 10 months are
Yeah.
really what matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think just being consistent with your eating and your training. It's okay to have a cheat day. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm definitely probably the most hard on myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we all are.
Yeah.
But I think that's where I struggled for a long time, was like, if I miss a day or I eat a poor, couple meals, it's like, oh, there, I just lost a couple months of progress.
Yeah.
When that's really not the case at all. So
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully that gives some encouragement to people, maybe struggling through the holidays. Maybe they've gone through something and they're just, their eating's been poor. They haven't worked out as much or whatever. It doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be training, but it's like, hey, just pick it right back up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You were there. pick it back up and start the consistency again.
Yeah. How often do you see somebody come in and say, I'm really going to be disciplined for a week, and then they just poof, or 2 weeks and then they're gone? That 21 days to make it a habit. I mean, that seems like it's a real thing. Do people just, it's been my experience thinking about resolutions that, they make a resolution on January 1st, and if the 15th rolls around, it's over,
I would say 9 out of 10 people.
Yeah.
Is what when I see that, it's like, hey, I'm going to be good I'm going to do this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear it all the time. I see it all the time. I wish it were more true, or that people stayed with it. But like I said, they're just so all or nothing at the beginning that they just aren't able to stick to their goal.
Yeah. So how do you see people feeling intimidated then when they go in the gym? Maybe how do you help clients overcome that?
Absolutely. I'm going to be honest here. Apex, here in Lawson, there's 2 gyms. There's one in Lawson, there's one in Smithville. Does a great job of making people feel welcome.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't ever hear anything about, we don't feel comfortable in the gym.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's also my goal, is to, hey, I'm gonna break down every exercise with you. I'm gonna make sure that you know what you're doing, so you don't maybe look funny or feel funny. But I think Apex does a really good job of being a community friendly gym, to where it's not, meatheads or whatever in the gym. It's kind of like everybody's in there to get a little bit better. And I really do feel that. So
that's good. Do you see people burning out or injuring themselves in these first few months? Or,
yes and no. Like I said, that all kind of just depends on the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're like, you're 150 pounds overweight and you're trying to do all these, advanced movements, I think you probably do have a higher probability of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I say take it slow and, just kind of inch by inch, you're going to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
would you have the same feedback for somebody approaching training after an injury, maybe a long break or past failure?
Yeah. It's funny because I've trained people with ACL, they come off an ACL surgery and they're like, I just want my right knee to be a little bit stronger. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to have them doing heavy front barbell squats or anything. We'll start out with like single leg box step ups or something, to where we're strengthening that knee up. And then we'll add some machines in and things like that. But yeah, everybody requires a little different, training and programming and speed, I guess. Some people, require a lot more higher intense workouts, where some people, we got to start a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Or you're going to re-injure yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
let's talk about motivation here. Maybe discipline, consistency. How do you explain the difference between motivation and discipline to your clients?
I think that's a tough one. I don't love the word motivation, because it's like you can only watch so many YouTube videos or songs to get you hype.
Yeah.
I really think it's all about creating a little bit of a plan and sticking to it, because the motivation's not going to be there every morning.
Right.
It's not going to be there mornings for me. I had a rough week the last couple weeks, and my training was way off. And it really came down to, hey, I know how to wake up at 4 a.m. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And my workouts were not great, I got to be honest. And some of it was going through the motions, and I think even trainers go through that.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders go through that. Fitness guys go through that.
Yeah.
But I don't love the word motivation. I would say for the first several months, there is that motivation, that drive. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I gotta get after it.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's like you just get into this routine where it is, I'm disciplined, I'm getting up and early, and I'm drinking my pre-workout or whatever, and I'm gonna go hit it for an hour. So
I heard it said recently, it's okay to suck. It's not okay to skip. And that resonated with me. It's like, it's okay, just get out of bed, go to the gym, do something, and then come home. Like you sucked. It wasn't great, but you didn't skip.
The only bad workout is the one that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And that seemed to be motivated to me. So as I do kettlebells and things around here,
that's great.
I'll work 5 minutes. Like literally, it's 5 minutes. I barely got a sweat. I barely got my heart rate up, but I didn't skip.
Yeah, it's
So-
better than sitting on the couch eating a bag of Cheetos.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. But in light of that, and again, my heart is really going out to the people who want and have like the road being paved with good intentions, like they really want this. They're making a choice right now to try to be different. And we know that motivation is inevitably going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So what keeps progress moving forward? Is it a buddy? Is it a plan? Is it accountability? Is it a diet? Is it Weight Watchers? Is it, is it the community of practice there at the gym? How do you keep things going forward?
I think a gym buddy is probably at the top of my list, and something that I've never had consistently. But I think starting out, that is very, very important. I train a lot of husbands and wives together. So that's a big thing where they can like see each other's progress and they can encourage one another.
Yeah.
But I think if you got a friend starting January 1st, I think you're going to stay with it way longer than if you go into it by yourself. 100%. Another thing is writing down what you do, writing down your goals, writing down how you felt that day. You went into your workout, maybe you had a really horrible day at work, but guess what? You still got in there, you still got it done. Maybe you had a fight with your spouse or whatever it is. You were very frustrated, but you still, trained for a whole hour or 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is. I think writing those things down and going back years later or months later and being like, hey, I showed up when it was a horrible day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I can show up for anything.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. When you talk about metrics, what are you tracking? What do you,
Absolutely.
how do you say, I track my progress? What do you mean by that?
I think tracking your workouts. So I would advise everyone January 1st is to grab a little black notebook or a little notebook of some sort.
Yeah.
Maybe write your starting weight, just write January 1st, 2026 or whatever on it. Write your starting weight, your starting height, everything like that. And then they make so many like macro calculators. I would go on there, I would plug in, your height, weight, kind of what your goal is, weight loss, build muscle. And then it'll kind of break down how many calories you're supposed to eat, protein, carbs, fats. And I think they also make so many apps to where you can just plug in your food. You can even scan your food, you know what I mean? It tells you how much you're eating. I think workout, meal tracking or food tracking are the two biggest things. If you can just do those every single day, I think you will be way better off, because then you can go back and you can see, man, I've come a long way. My weights have come a long way. Or, hey, my weights have gone up 5 pounds in a week or a month. You know what I mean? You can track that progress that way. Like I said, instead of just going into your workouts like confused and you know what I mean? There's no program or plan. I think those two things are definitely huge.
Very good. Very good. What small wins should beginners pay attention to early on to stay encouraged?
I think the scale needs to go away for the first couple months.
Just ignore that.
I think it's very misleading, because when you start out and you start moving and weight training, you're going to lose weight, but yes, you're going to build muscle. And I think some people are like, man, the scale's not moved, but hey, I lost 2 belt buckle loops. And I think those wins are huge. The scale, you want to see the scale move. You know what I mean? That's encouraging. But man, when your clothes are fitting when they haven't fit in 10 years, which is probably the thing I see most with the people I train, is like, I've got clothes that I haven't worn since I was in high school or college, and I'm 50 and they're fitting again. You know what I mean? So that's
another problem, isn't it? To have somebody has clothes.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. You should have thrown them out a long time ago. But I have heard that before, or clothes that they haven't worn in years. You know what I mean? So I would say those are the big wins. You know what I mean? Or if you have somebody at work that's like, man, you look like you've been working out a little bit, or something like family that you haven't seen in a while. I would say those are the victories that really keep you going, rather than I lost 0.5 pounds on a scale. I just don't think that keeps you, motivated for those long years. So
no, I affirm that. Okay, let's talk about recovery and longevity. How is recovery often overlooked, especially at the beginning of the year? People come out hot and heavy, and then they're like, I got to do this 6 days a week or whatever. And they just blow themselves out and then they keep going.
Yeah.
Is rest important? You talk about active rest days. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. I think this is one of the things I struggled with for the longest time, because it was like hour and a half workouts, no active warm up, no cool down, no stretching, nothing like that. I would say one of the biggest misconceptions is static stretching at the beginning of your workouts. And what I mean by that is, stretching your arm across your body if you're going to do arms or shoulders. Like, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't get your shoulders prepped or primed to do any kind of heavy lifting. So what I mean by doing a active warm up is, hey, we're going to jog down and back. Hey, we're going to do some slam balls. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're going to get the heart rate up. We're going to get our, whatever muscle, you're training, we want to get those muscles primed. We don't want to, get them cooled off. And that's going to be towards the end of our workout. So I definitely think doing some kind of active warm up before you work out is key.
Mhm.
And then just like throughout your workout, I think just the right amount of rest in between exercises.
Mhm.
So you're going to need more rest doing a barbell back squat in between sets than you are doing some curls, just because your arms can recover faster than your legs.
Yeah.
And then at the end of your workout, I always recommend a 5 to 10 minute cool down. And that's where you're going to static stretch. That's where you're going to grab a band and, stretch your shoulders out or stretch your legs out or your, your adductors, on your groin. Those are some of the biggest things that, like I said, I've struggled with for a long time, but now that's one of the biggest things is I preach. Saying we got to get ready to work out and then we're going to cool off, after.
Yeah.
And then I think just having a couple rest days or one rest day a week at least. Like I said, everybody's schedule is different. Some people like 3 days a week rest.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have a couple days of active recovery. And what I mean by that is, hey, let's go hit core or some kind of mobility, maybe for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then let's do some form of cardio. Let's go, we can walk, we can do a treadmill.
Yeah.
I don't love the treadmill. I'm going to be transparent here. I
Yeah.
can't stand the treadmill.
Yeah.
I would rather do some kind of like stair stepper or stairmaster, or go outside. You know what I mean? Just facing a
Move.
wall with the treadmill is not my ideal thing.
Yeah.
It has a time and a place, in my training, but just a couple days a week where you're just not, destroying, your body.
Yeah.
You're letting it, because it does need to recover and
Yeah.
rest and refuel for the next week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How can people shift from an all or nothing mindset to a sustainable, lifelong approach to training?
I think that's a really, really tough question. I think that just comes with time.
Mhm.
I've probably not understood that until like the last year or so myself.
Yeah.
For me, it was always all or nothing. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And even as trainers, we struggle with that. But I think just kind of looking to the future and setting those long-term goals, 5-10 year goals, really helps be like, oh, I'm not just in this for 6 months. You know what I mean? I'm in this for the next 30, 40 years. I think that really helps is just setting those long-term goals.
Yeah.
And that could be something very simple. You know what I mean? I want to put on 5 pounds of muscle in the next 2 years or, whatever. I think that shifts from I have to get this done right now to, hey, we're going to make this a way of life.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I appreciate that.
yeah.
And then a year from now, what would true success look like for somebody who committed to weightlifting and their overall health?
I think everybody's different when it comes to success in the gym. My goals in the gym with weight training a year from now are going to be different than yours.
Yeah.
Or, Susie or what, what I mean? I think that all comes down to the goals that you have in place.
Yeah.
Whether you want to lose 20 pounds or you want to bench 200 pounds or whatever it is, I think that's different for everybody. That's kind of a tough question. I don't know. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I guess I was maybe loading the question a bit.
Yeah.
I thought your answer would be that they didn't quit.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
But like that's it is difficult because
That's true.
what isn't quitting for some is
Yeah.
some people would say depending on the goals that they're setting.
Sure.
So that was kind of where I thought we'd go with that.
Yeah, sure.
But again, you're the expert.
Yeah.
When it's been amazing to me to sit in this chair
Yeah.
and ask questions of people thinking the conversation's going to go one way. And then it goes the way that this is. It's like, well, here I am looking at it from my perspective,
Yeah.
really only thinking this is what's coming. And I'm realizing there's all these other different injects, that things that I hadn't even considered, you know?
I think that's a big thing in the fitness industry is there's just not one way.
Yeah.
There's a million ways to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like what works for me might not work for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, my eating's different than your eating and
Yeah.
training. So
Yeah. Having said that though,
Yeah.
are there any universal kind of truths, like some fail safe things that just work for everybody?
10,000 steps a day.
Okay.
Sounds silly.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to lose weight, I would say try to get near 1 ounce per, let me back up here. I would say a gallon of water a day. A
Okay.
gallon of water, 10,000 steps a day. And maybe 4 days a week of cardio when you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that weight will fall off.
Just because you're moving.
Just because you're moving and you're
Yeah.
flushing out, you know, the toxins in your body.
Yeah.
And then obviously the right nutrition, but like I said, that number varies, you know, for everyone. But those 3 things for me during when I kind of tried to start to lose a little bit of weight,
Yeah.
were like game changers.
Yeah.
I was like 10,000 steps a day. How much of a difference can that make? But I tracked it every day, and it was honestly crazy, the results. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say those for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to talk through today? I know it's been kind of short, but it's like you've made it simple.
Yeah.
You've made it like straightforward. Literally, have a plan.
Yeah.
Eat right. Drink water.
Yeah.
Move.
I think that's another thing too, is people just make it so complicated.
Yeah.
It's like it really doesn't have to be this big, you know, there's no like magic pill or magic shake. And I could get on that topic again too, because there's no shake that makes you lose, you know, or no magic whatever to make you build muscle or lose weight. Yeah, it may work for a month or so, but you got to eat right and you got to move your body.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really it. That's what I preach is we got to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we got to control what we put in our mouths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just sit around and eat Chinese food and whatever, Little Debbie's all the time. But I mean, there's really not some big secret thing. I think if you just start today, you know what I mean? If anybody out there listening today is just like kind of on the fence, teeter-totter, do something at home. Go on a 20-minute walk, kind of like you talked about. Grab a milk jug. You know what I mean? I've been on vacations before where I'm in San Diego and it's like $50 for a day pass at a gym out there. I'm like, no way. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I'll grab, you know, some of my, you know, family's milk jugs or, you know, throw some sandbags in a shirt or something. And I'm just going to go outside and I'm going to do something for 20, 30 minutes. And I think that's what people at home can do. If you're intimidated by a gym or, you know, being around people, I get it. Trust me, I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I've even been that guy recently. You know what I mean? I get intimidated if there's bigger guys in the gym or something like that. You know what I mean? Just start small at home. Like I said, do something small, 20 minutes a day even. It doesn't have to be weight training. I know that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people like CrossFit. Some people like High Rocks, if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know that.
High Rocks, I think what it is, it's kind of like CrossFit. It's a little more conditioning. So what it is it's like an obstacle course. And what you're going to do is run so many meters, and then you're going to do like ski erg, if you know what that is. It's where you grab handles and you're kind of imitating like skiing.
Yeah.
And then you go run 400 meters again, and then you do walking lunges with kettlebells or something like that. So like I said, imitates CrossFit, but it's pretty cool. And those people are very, very, you know, talented. I'm always impressed by those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever your thing is, you know, go walk your dogs, you know what I mean? Go walk with your family.
Yeah.
Or go to the gym. You know what I mean? Whatever.
How would, if people have other questions, you know, again, this is meant to prime the pump, just get people motivated, you know, start today, kind of like you said. How would people get a hold of you?
You can email me. My email is Tanner Stark Personal Training, so PT, at gmail.com.
Okay.
You can always contact Smithville Apex or the Apex here in Lawson. Those are probably the best ways to reach me. By email, I always respond a little bit quicker by those. But I would love to work with you. and just create that. I think creating a relationship with those people too.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting on their side, seeing where they're at.
Yeah.
I'm not in there to make money. I tell people that all the time. Yeah, it's great that I get to make money doing something that I love, but man, I really want to see you be healthy.
Yeah.
I got to share a little story. One of the guys I train, he's 74.
Okay.
Came to me. He had just turned 72, so been working with him for about 2 years.
Yeah.
He had drop foot. So what that is he had like no control over one of his feet. He had a horrible back surgery.
Okay.
Basically paralyzed him for several months. Went to PT, and they said he was great. Came to me, 2 years ago, wasn't great.
Yeah.
I mean, he stumbled walking in the door at the gym, and I just knew kind of it's going to be a tough one. You know what I mean? But man, after about 6 months, he completely transformed his life.
Really?
Yeah, he does trap bar deadlifts now. I mean, he's doing 130 on trap bar deadlifts at 74.
Holy
Walking
smokes.
lunges, kettlebell squats with like 50-pound dumbbells.
Yeah.
Just remarkable. And I think that shows, if you just stay with it,
Yeah.
what you can achieve, whether you're 30 or 80. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what your age is.
Yeah.
Just start today. So, that's kind of my ending spiel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show today. Appreciate you helping us out here.
Absolutely.
And
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you all. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope you feel motivated to start today. So get up, get after it, choose your heart. This has been the Son of the Law podcast. Everybody have a great day.